Hello everyone, welcome to lecture number 7. So till now we have studied till this point, and in the last lecture we got an idea about electric flux. What is electric flux? Electric flux over an area is the number of electric field lines passing through it, and we got some idea about the area vector. Area vector is just normal over the area, and today we will revise some electric flux, some of the electric flux, and then statement of Gauss's theorem and its many application. So let's start with our lecture number 7. Yesterday we ended with this question, and we saw for any open surface this is the sign for flux, electric flux, and we calculate electric flux by this formula E dot dA, or we can write it as E dot ds, where dA or ds represents the area component. So electric field, the dot product of these two gives us the flux. So for any open surface, phi is equals to integration of E dA, or we can write dot product as E dA cos theta, where theta is the angle between electric field and area vector. And for closed surface we put a sign over this integral. This is the integration over a closed surface. By closed surface we mean a surface which is closed. For example, the surface in the case of sphere, it is a closed body. In the case of cone, it is a closed body, and we can take a cylinder, it is also a closed body. So for a closed surface we can write integration of EDA is equals to, this is the sign for closed surface, always remember it, EDA cos theta. And in our example we saw for this surface, if it is asked this is a sphere and electric field lines are passing through like this, means a positive charge is here, or any charge which is emitting the electric field lines is outside this sphere, and this is the number of electric field lines passing through this body. Then you can see the number of electric field lines entering in the body and number of electric field lines leaving the body are same. So net electric flux will be 0 for this body. So we can make a statement out of this question, that is, for any closed surface net electric flux is always 0. So now we will solve a question regarding the electric flux. This is our question. The electric field component in the figure are Ex is equals to alpha x raised to power half, and Ey is equals to 0, Ez equals to 0. What the question is saying is the electric field component along positive x direction is alpha x raised to power half, and Ey, electric field component along y direction is 0, and electric field component along z direction is also 0. If we suppose this is the x direction, this is the y direction, and it is the z direction, as it is already clear from the figure that the cube is placed at a distance of positive x in this figure, and the side of cube is A, and it is given alpha is equals to 800 Newton per Coulomb meter raised to power half. Calculate the electric flux through the cube. As we know, the electric flux is given by phi is equals to E dot dA, and for any closed surface we can write phi is equals to E dot dA. As we have seen, for any closed surface net electric flux is equals to 0. It means when the electric field lines are moving like this, means number of field lines entering is equals to number of electric field lines leaving, then we can say that net electric field is 0. But in this case we can write this figure, I can write this face as 1, this face as 2, this face as 3, and I write the front face as 4, the back face as 5, and the bottom face as 6. It means this cube has 6 faces, means 6 surfaces, and you can see, if I see the face number 1 S and face number 3, these two faces are normal to the E vector, means it is written here that Ex is equals to alpha x raised to power half, means E is in this direction. I can say this is my Ex, and it is already given Ey and Ez components are 0, means flux through 2 and 6 and flux through 4 and 5. See, 2 and 6 are in y direction, means if we take normal to the surface in face number 2 and face number 6, it will be in y direction, and electric field in y direction is 0, so flux is equals to E dot dA, as dA component is multiplied by with E component, and Ey is equals to 0, so 2 and 6 will be 0. Similarly 4 and 5 will be 0, only 1 and 3 component will take part in forming the flux. So as you can see from the figure, this is first phase, second phase, third, fourth is this front surface, and fifth is back surface, and sixth is bottom surface. So it is given that electric field is in positive x direction, as Ex is equals to alpha x raised to power half, so E will be in positive x direction. Now from the formula you can see phi is equals to integration of EdA, means EdA cos theta. It depends upon the angle between E and normal to the area vector. So we can divide this integral into 6 component, as there are 6 surfaces in a cube. So for first surface, you can see first surface is this side. Normal to this surface will be like this, and the angle between E and the area vector for first surface is 0 degree. As you can see, both are in same direction. So I can write for first surface, this will lead into EdA cos 0 degree, and for second surface, as you can see, second surface is this. For second surface, area vector will be like this. So from the figure you can see E vector is in positive x direction, and normal to the surface 2 is in z direction, or I took it as y direction and this was z direction. So second, normal to the second surface is in y direction, and electric field is in x direction. So the angle between these two will be 90 degree for second surface. Similarly for third surface, as you can see, normal for third surface will be like this. This is the normal for third surface, and you can see this area, normal to the area is in this direction, and electric field is in this direction. So these two are making an angle of 180 degree. So I have put a cos 180 degree here. For fourth is your front surface. For front surface, this will be the normal, means it will be in z direction, and again the angle between electric field and z direction will be 90 degree. So I have put the 90 degree over here. Similarly for fifth surface, it will be inward. Inward means negative z direction, and the angle between electric field and negative z direction is again 90 degree. Similarly for sixth surface, it will be in negative y direction and positive x. Angle is 90 degree again. So I have put some of the angles. Now you know cos 90 degree gives you 0. So this will lead to 0, this will lead to 0, this will be 0, and this will also be 0. So we are left with only two integrals. One is Ex dA cos 0 and other is Ex dA cos 180 degree. So cos 0 will give us 1 and cos 180 will give us -1. So again for first surface, as you can see, first surface is here, and what is the value of x for this surface? As you can see, this was placed at a distance of a and this distance is also a. So this surface is placed at a distance of 2a. So it means x, value of x is 2a here. So I will put 2a in the place of x and dA minus, and this is for third surface. As you can see, for the third surface, the value of x is only a. So I will write a raised to power half dA in the place of x here. Integration of dA means area of this surface number 1 and area of surface number 3. As you can see, the cube is of side A, so area of each surface will be a square. So I will put a square in the place of dA. It will give me 2a raised to power half a square minus alpha a raised to power half a square. So after putting all the values, it gives us the answer. Phi is equals to 1.05 Newton meter square per coulomb. Next topic is Gauss's theorem. What does Gauss's theorem say? Gauss's theorem says total electric flux over the closed surface S in vacuum is 1 by epsilon naught times the total charge contained inside S. That is, phi is equals to, phi is equals to E dot dA. We have already read. In the place of dA, I have written ds here. ds is nothing but area vector. So phi is equals to E dot dA. You have already read, and it can be written as E dot ds also. And what does Gauss's theorem say is phi is equal to q divided by epsilon naught, where q is the charge contained by the surface. Or what is that closed surface? If you have a charge q and it is asked to calculate the electric flux, so you will create a Gaussian surface and it should be closed surface. So you can suppose this is your Gaussian surface. So flux through it will be equal to q times epsilon naught, or I can write phi is equals to q enclosed upon epsilon naught. It means the electric flux is equals to q inside the body divided by epsilon naught. If you have a body like this and here a charge q, and it is asked to calculate the net flux from this sphere. So net flux will be 0 in this case. Why it is 0? According to Gauss's law, it would have been phi is equals to q upon epsilon naught, but q is outside this sphere, so q is not inside. As there is no charge inside this sphere, you can see it from figure, q is outside the sphere. As there is no charge inside this sphere, so electric field lines going from the sphere will come out. It means the electric field lines produced by this charge will go through sphere, but they will come out. So net flux through this sphere will be 0. There are some properties of Gauss's law. First is Gauss's law is valid for closed surface. If you are calculating electric field or flux by Gauss's law, which is phi is equals to q upon epsilon naught, then you need closed surface. It is not valid for any open surface. You need charge enclosed, and charged should be enclosed within a surface, and surface should be closed. And second point is, it is not necessary that when phi is equals to 0, E is equals to 0. As you have already seen that if charge is placed outside the closed body, there are electric field lines produced by this charge which are passing through this surface. Here we have phi is equals to 0 as number of line entering is equals to number of lines leaving, but electric field is not 0 here. Means there is some electric field due to this charge, but electric flux is equals to 0. Third property is, when electric field is 0, then phi will definitely be 0. Means if there is no electric field is due to charge only, and if there is no electric field, there will be no electric field lines. So when phi is equals to 0, E will not be 0. It can be 0 or E cannot be 0, but when E is equals to 0, then phi will always be 0. So fourth property is, it is not necessary that we can find electric field everywhere with the help of Gauss's law. As you have already seen, Gauss's law says it needs a closed surface. Phi is equals to Q enclosed upon epsilon naught, and we calculate electric field with the help of Gauss's law by this formula. Phi is equals to closed integration E dot ds is equals to Q upon epsilon naught. Q enclosed divided by epsilon naught. By this formula we can calculate electric field, and it is not necessary that we can find electric field everywhere with the help of Gauss's law, because for applying Gauss's law we need a closed surface. Proof of Gauss's theorem. As we know, for a point charge, E is equals to 1 upon 4 pi epsilon naught Q upon r square, or I can write it as E is equals to Q upon 4 pi epsilon naught r square and 1 r cap. R cap is for showing the direction of electric field. And if I want to prove the Gaussian theorem with the help of a point charge, I can suppose a closed surface like this. If this is a point charge, I can cover it with a spherical surface. Suppose this is your spherical surface and this is point charge Q. The radius of this sphere is suppose small r, and I suppose a small component over this surface as ds. Suppose ds is this component and normal to it is this. As we know, the electric field from a positive charge is radially outward, so electric field will be also in this direction. E and ds, there will be angle of 0 between these two. So if I want to calculate the electric flux due to this small element, I will write d phi, and I write d phi as E dot ds. So it will be E dot ds component, and I will put a vector sign over it, E dot ds. So for this whole I will have to integrate it, so I will put a closed sign over it. So this integration will give me E ds cos 0. As you know, cos 0 gives us 1, so this part will be 1, and value of E is Q upon 4 pi epsilon naught r square. So I can take it out, as you know r is also constant. So Q upon 4 pi epsilon naught r square integration of ds. Integration of ds means I need the surface area of this sphere. And what is the surface area of a sphere? It is 4 pi r square. So I can write 4 pi r square in this place. 4 pi r square and 4 pi r square cancels out. It gives us Q upon, this is the value of pi, Q upon epsilon naught. So here we have proved our Gaussian theorem with the help of a point charge, that is phi is equals to Q enclosed upon epsilon naught. We can make a conclusion out of this, that is total electric field through a closed surface is 0 if no electric charge is enclosed by the surface. It should be flux. Total electric flux through a closed surface is 0 if no electric charge is enclosed by the surface. As we know, phi is equals to q enclosed divided by epsilon naught. If there is no charge within the surface, if there is no charge enclosed by the surface, then total electric flux through the closed surface is 0. It will be equal to 0. Here you can see 3 cases. This is a surface and charge q is placed just outside this, and we have an arc here, and q is placed in the center of this arc, and again we have a half circle. This is a surface, and inside it we have charge q. So what will be the flux in this case, and in this case? As you can see, this is a closed surface. It is closed from every side, and q is placed outside this surface. So flux here will be 0. And in this case, this is a half arc and q is inside this. If I want to make it complete, it will be like this. This is whole surface and this is half. So it is asked to calculate the electric flux through this half. If I want to calculate the electric flux through this whole, phi will be equal to q enclosed divided by epsilon naught. But if it is asked to find the electric flux only through this half, it will be phi is equals to q upon 2 epsilon naught. Means I have halved this value. And in the third case, you can see q is inside this body. So q will be again phi is equals to q upon epsilon naught, as charge is within the surface. This is another question. This is a sheet of squared shape of side A, and a plus charge, positive q charge is placed at a distance of a by 2 from it, and it is asked to calculate the flux through the sheet. So for applying the Gauss's law, we need a closed surface. To make it a closed surface, we can make it like this: a cube of side A. This is a cube of side A. This is the solution. Cube of side A, and charge q is placed at a distance of a by 2 from the bottom of the sheet. So this is our closed body, and from a closed body, applying Gauss's theorem, we can say phi is equals to q enclosed upon epsilon naught. Q enclosed within this body is plus q. So from this whole body, the value of flux will be q upon epsilon naught. And if I want to calculate the flux only through, to calculate the electric flux only through this surface, this bottom surface, so I will do 1/6 of the whole. Means I need a flux, suppose I say this is first surface, so flux through first surface will be 1/6 part of the whole flux. This will give us q upon 6 epsilon naught. So value of q is plus q here, so I will write q upon 6 epsilon naught. So for this surface, the value of phi will be q upon 6 epsilon naught. So that is all for today. So today we have seen, if we have a charge q outside any surface, then net electric flux will be 0 for this. And if you have given a charge and it is asked to calculate the electric flux through any surface, so first you will make it a closed surface, like in this question and this question. This was a sheet and q charge was placed from q charge is placed at a distance of a by 2 from it. So first we will make it a closed surface like this, and calculate electric flux like this. And if we have given any closed surface, suppose here we have a closed surface, but the shape of the closed surface is like this, so we will not bother about this the shape of the surface. We will just write phi is equals to q upon epsilon naught.